Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to my September 2019 beauty favorites and fails. Last month I didn't have a lot of favorites or fails simply because I didn't do a lot of makeup shopping in that month. But then for September, the Sephora sale happened at the end of August, early September, right? Because I mentioned, I think in my August favorites, that I didn't put any of those purchases from the Sephora sale in that video because I hadn't used them for a long enough period of time. But now it's been several weeks and I don't even know if I have anything from the sale as a favorite. Oh, I do. I have two things from the sale that are favorites. So let's jump right in. All right, why don't I just start with the products from the Sephora sale that I've been loving the most. The first thing is this blush duo from Jouer. I purchased the Rosegold duo, which contains the shades Marigold and Rose Petal. These are both stunning colors. It is what I have on right now. I own a couple of other Jouer blush duos. The limited edition summer one, which was called Cheeky Summer. I have that one and I love it. And then another one called Amour. It's either Amour or Adore. It's more of a pink duo. I love all three of them. I think these are beautiful blushes. I would definitely rank them. If I had to choose my top 3 blush brands, this would definitely be the second. I would say the first brand would be Charlotte Tilbury. I love her blushes. Then the Jouer. What would be third? I have to think about that. Maybe NARS or Tarte. Anyway, this duo is beautiful. It gives just a beautiful flushed cheek that's very neutral. It's got some bronzy undertones to it. It's not like a baby pink, and it just would be flattering, I think, on many, many skin tones. Next up is this Fenty bronzer in Island Ting. It's the perfect bronzer. This shade, specifically Island Ting, it's her Sun Stalk'r bronzer. This shade would be wonderful for someone who's very light skinned. I wouldn't say like porcelain skin. It might be too orangey or muddy on porcelain skin, but if you have light medium skin like I do, this is a wonderful natural looking bronzer. Now the product I have been loving for contour. This is the Soleil Tan Bronze Universal. I've been seeing other makeup artists and influencers use this for years. Every time I would check it out at a Chanel counter, I was just very turned off by how sort of orangey I felt that it was, and also very expensive. So I passed, I held off. And then one of my favorite former YouTubers, sadly she doesn't do YouTube anymore, but she is a makeup artist in San Diego. Her name is Makeup by Candace. I will put the name on the screen. On her Instagram stories about a month or 6 weeks ago, she was raving about this, saying it was a must-have, and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna get it. I'm just gonna buy it and I'm gonna play around with it. I really love it for contouring my nose. I just use my finger to go like this. Yes, it's a super expensive, I think I've said it's expensive 3 times now, because it is. I would absolutely love to find a dupe for this that worked just as well at contouring my nose to give it a natural look. I'm finding that cream nose contour, not specifically cream, cheek contour or what I put on my forehead or under here, I can get away with powders there, but I feel like powder, when I put it on my nose, it tends to remove the makeup underneath, or it just looks powdery. It just doesn't look right, doesn't look natural. And I find this gives a very natural, subtle appearance. And I have used it for, cheek contour, and it doesn't look bad. It's not like what I feared. At least I don't think so. Nobody's ever told me my contour looks orange. So as far as I know, it looks good. All right, moving on to 2 of my current favorite brow products. As most of you know, I have a brow product addiction. I am always, it's the never-ending search for the perfect brow product. And I've definitely found some really great ones, from pomades to pencils. I typically reach for pencils. My brow stash that I keep in a basket in one of my vanity drawers is packed, and I just rotate through them a lot. My current favorites, the one that I'm really, really impressed with as far as application and color, it's this one from NYX. It is the Fill and Fluff eyebrow pencil. One side has an angled tip, much like the Hourglass Arch Brow or the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer. And then the other side has a little brush, much like the new Fenty brow product. I would say that this is an excellent dupe for the Anastasia Brow Definer. It just has, you know, the different, instead of having a spoolie on the end, it has this brush, but it applies very similarly. This blonde color is perfection. Quite a few people have asked me or commented on recent videos about my brows and what color I use and how they look really, or saying that they look really good. It's this. What I've also been using and loving for the front part of my eyebrows, and I will do an updated brow routine very, very soon. I actually filmed one, but the footage didn't come out great, so I had to pitch it. But I'm loving this MAC Shape and Shade Brow Tint in the shade Taupe. It's just a little brow flick pen. And I love this for drawing little hairs up in front. So I'll use the pencil for the majority of my brow, but then I'll use this brow flick pen and make it look like I have more hairs. It makes it look a little bit more natural, because I've mentioned this before. I had microblading about 2 years ago, and it really killed the hair follicles up here in front. So I don't have any actual brow hair up front. So to get that kind of feathered, fluffy look that's really popular right now, I need to use this pen and draw in some faux brow hairs. All right, so before I get into the 2 eyeshadow palette favorites of the month, I do have one other blush cheek product to show you. This is from Glossier. It is the Cloud Paint in the shade Beam. I used to have a couple of other shades in this, Dusk and one other one. This brand was actually one of the very first to send me any PR. I think when I had around 40,000 subscribers, they sent me a package and it contained some of these cloud paints. And I don't know, they didn't excite me, and I put them away and I never spoke of them, never really used them. Maybe that's why they don't send me any PR anymore. Could be. I don't think I ever trashed them. I just never really talked about them. Because there's plenty of products from the brand that I really do like. I like their cleanser. They too have a brow pen like this that's supposed to be really good, like this MAC one. That's supposed to be really good. I saw this product in this shade Beam being used by another one of my favorite Instagram makeup artists, Danielle Marcan. Again, I will put her name up on the screen. And it just looked like the most beautiful peachy pink flush. And it truly is. And as my skin has changed in the last year or so, it's still oily, but I've gotten it a little bit more under control. The texture has definitely improved. So I feel like I can reach for creams more often, whereas I felt like I couldn't in the past. And I just love the way this looks. Obviously, I don't want to put it over what I have on now because I kind of like what's going on here, but take my word for it. It's beautiful. So now I'm going to talk about the 2 eyeshadow palettes that I have been reaching for over and over the past couple of weeks. One of them is pretty controversial. And I say controversial because I did a dedicated video on this palette a couple weeks ago, and it got some mixed reviews or some mixed impressions. Some of you said that you loved it, that you couldn't wait to get your hands on it, and others said, ugh, how boring, too many shimmers. That is the Charlotte Tilbury Starry Eyes to Hypnotize limited edition eyeshadow palette. When I did the video on it, it was not available because there was a 24-hour flash sale, or is that really a flash sale? I don't know. There's a 24-hour sale where you could purchase this, and that's when I bought mine. I'm filming this video on September 26th. I'm not quite sure when I'm going to be putting this up. Hopefully it will not have sold out by the time I do put this video up, but I believe it launched again yesterday on the 25th at Nordstrom and on Nordstrom.com. I'm not sure about Sephora.com. I'm not sure about the retailers that are carrying it, but it was supposed to be available for purchase starting September 25th. So again, hopefully by the time this video comes out, if you want it, you can still get it. It's beautiful. I basically bought this palette for the Dream Glow trio, which has the sort of green tones, and then also the Seduce Glow, which is the silver and the black, because that's the type of eye look I love to do during the holidays. It's just sort of my go-to. And I think the packaging is just really pretty and festive, and I just find myself reaching for it a lot. Even if it's just to use one of the shimmer shades on my lid or one of the mattes in my crease or outer corner using another palette, I will often use shades from this palette with shades from my other favorite, which is a lot less expensive, the BH Cosmetics Beautiful in Barcelona. I've done an entire dedicated video to my love for the Love in London palette from BH Cosmetics. And this one came out, I want to say 6 or 8 weeks ago. And when I first saw it online, I thought, ooh, I need to have it. And knowing what I know about the Love in London palette that I just adore because it's so pigmented, the shadows are just so high quality. They definitely rival high-end eyeshadows in my opinion. And not all BH Cosmetics eyeshadows are this good. But these square pans that are in these, I don't know, I guess you could say they're travel collection, because there's Beautiful in Barcelona, Love in London, Hanging in Hawaii. I think there's like 4 or 5 palettes, and then also blush palettes. But the texture, the pigmentation, they're beautiful. They're so buttery and blendable. I mean, look at that. That was one swipe. Now, I'm not the best swatcher. Is this focusing? But wow. This color right here, Exquisite, is exquisite. Okay, now it's time to share a couple fails. These were 2 major fails. One I paid for, one came in PR. The one I paid for, because I was trying to do, I'm working on a dupes video, and I don't even remember what I was buying this to be a dupe for. But anyway, it's the Makeup Obsession Mega Conceal Long Wear Concealer with Caffeine. I believe is exclusive to Target. And it is possibly the worst concealer I have ever tried in my life. It doesn't cover a thing. It didn't blend well. When I bought it, I was sort of excited because if you swatch it on your hand, it's super creamy. It looks like it has coverage, but no. I think I was Marco Poloing, which if you don't know what that is, it's an app. It's like a video messaging app. And myself and Michelle Wong and Stephanie Marie, who are other YouTubers if you're not familiar with them, we're constantly video messaging each other through Marco Polo. And I'm pretty sure the day that I used this concealer, I was ranting to Stephanie Marie like, have you tried this? This thing is the worst. It didn't cover anything. I actually, if I remember correctly, I had to remove it and put on another concealer. So thankfully it wasn't super expensive, but it was disappointing because I'm always trying to find, you know, affordable drugstore products to show you guys that work well. And as a lot of you know, I'm currently in love with the Maybelline Superstay 24 Hour. That's my favorite drugstore concealer, and so this one was a dud. And then lastly, this is an eyeshadow I received from Touch in Soul, which is a brand that I usually like their products. They have a body glow that's really nice. They have some liquid shimmers that are nice, but they sent me these sparkling foiled pigments. And you guys know I'm not afraid of shimmer. I like some shimmer. I actually even like glitter at times. But this was awful. This left, I don't even want to touch it. It just was a glittery, chunky, here, I'll put it on this hand. I'll show better. I'm gonna regret doing this because I'm gonna have glitter everywhere. It looks beautiful on my hand, right? But the glitter particles were everywhere. It was patchy. Typically with foiled eyeshadows or pigments, they work best either used damp or when you place them over a glitter glue or something like that, something tacky that they can adhere to. But this just didn't work any way, shape, or form. It was just a mess. So if you're looking for, you know, a glitter eyeshadow, I mean, this is just, it's unbelievable. It's just chunky glitter. And then when you kind of dust it away, you're left with nothing, like no pigment whatsoever. It's just, let me just say there are much better glitter pigments on the market. So that's it, my favorites for September 2019. A couple of fails. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this. As always, if you did, I truly appreciate you giving the video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment, let me know what some of your favorite products were this past month, and leave me a comment about anything. I love hearing from you guys. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter under the same name, Risa Does Makeup. Thank you guys again for watching. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.